You guys know me by now, right? I'm not the type of asshole that's gonna see something about one of the young cult bunnies I do falling in love, and I'm not that type of asshole that's gonna make fun of that shit, am I? What is up, you heathens and demons, you beautiful, blasphemous people? Welcome back to The Raging Atheist. I'm your boy Nakasuchi, and yes, I am that kind of an asshole. I am going to be making fun of the ridiculously corny, the ridiculously funny video Emma Mae Jenkins put out talking about her new boyfriend. And, I was recommended to do this, but y'all didn't have to recommend this. I saw it before you even asked and was planning on it because I'm an asshole.
It was the 14th of October.
So it's October 14th.
And it was homecoming, which in itself is so much fun because as a girl, you get to get all dressed up and you get to put on your high heels and you get to go take pictures.
I did not want to go to this high school dance. It wasn't even in my high school, but my friends kept on trying to convince me to go to this dance,
Alright, so from that, you can see this is going to be very sappy. It's going to be sweet. It's going to be sweet. As an old man, I can appreciate young love. But I hate to do this to you guys. I hate to do this to you. Because for the rest of the video now, you're going to be looking at this. But dude has some serious vampire teeth going on. Serious vampire. Like, look at that shit. He's got the fangs. Maybe small vampire fangs, but he's even got the bottom ones too. Like, he could seriously take a chunk out of a girl's neck. I'm not saying that Emma Mae Jenkins is dating a vampire, but I'm saying.
And so finally I'm like, all right, fine, I'll go to this dance.
And so living in Arkansas, there's this place called Crystal Bridges, which is where a lot of people for homecoming and prom will go to take their pictures. So I went with my sister and we went to go take our pictures at Crystal Bridges. And I walked down the stairs and I saw an awesome fella, and his name was Josh McDaniel, as I later came to find out.
It's often easy to forget just how young Emma Mae is. Freshman in college, just a senior in high school last year. And she's already wildly famous, wildly popular, leader of a youth movement I despise. But she's a likable person. She's not a Matt Powell. She's not a Steven Anderson. She is a very likable person. I would say, from what I've seen of Emma Mae Jenkins, she's a good human being. I would like to ask her some of the harder questions on where her stances would be. She doesn't put that shit out. But she seems like a good human being. Dude here seems like the type of guy I probably would have bullied in high school.
Again, we're just kind of being friends, and so I don't really see her for a long time. And then comes May 30th.
Then around May, I think I was going to meet with a friend.
And I was meeting with my youth pastor, my mentor at this time, and we're just sitting having coffee talking about what I'm speaking about that night.
When I walked in, Josh was there.
And lo and behold, Emma Mae Jenkins walks into this coffee shop.
So you can tell this dude is like starstruck by Emma Mae. Starstruck by her. And it's not like Emma Mae is ugly. Dude is kind of funny looking. That's just me. But this whole fucking video is this shit. It's like every fucking meeting they had. Every time they look at each other from across the fucking room, or it'd be some long story leading into some really stupid encounter. But it's sweet. It's young love, and you get to see this public figure that has promoted this purity live that out. But it is only as Emma Mae would have made this video. It is really corny, really quirky, and dude is kind of perfect for her. If you can't see these two being together, it was hard for me ever to think of maybe a husband for Emma Mae Jenkins because she's just so weird. But this dude is that guy.
But I wanted to just be with Josh, but a part of me was scared because it was the unknown. And so I FaceTimed my parents. I was like, okay, here's what's up. Josh has asked me to go on this hike, and I'm really excited about it, but I'm very, very terrified at the same time. And so I want Carson to come with me. And they said, no, you can't do that. You have to go just with him. If you bring Carson with you, that's not what he's wanting. He would have asked Carson to come with you if he wanted both of y'all to come. I was like, you know what, you're right. And so leading up to November 1st of us going on our hike, I was in constant prayer of, Lord, I am so excited about this, and I ask that you help me to cast my cares on you because I know that you care for me.
So here we have a really clear indication that Emma Mae Jenkins is nowhere near as fundamental as, say, the girls of Girl Defined. The girls of Girl Defined would say you should never be alone with that guy. Should always be a chaperone, always should be somebody around. And here she's clearly talking about a time, I really spaced out my cuts here, guys, because it's such a long video and I don't want to have a super huge long video. But she's clearly talking about being alone with this guy, and Girl Defined would never condone that. So I'm starting to see that Emma Mae Jenkins, while she leads what I would consider a destructive youth movement, is not promoting that biblical patriarchy bullshit I see Girl Defined promoting.
And I know that this anxiousness and this nervousness is not from you, and so I place it in your hands and I ask that you help me to just enjoy this time with Josh McDaniel. So November 1st came, and
finally we go on the hike alone.
I remember getting so pumped. I was nervous all the way up until I stepped out of the elevator and I saw him. And the moment I saw him, I wasn't nervous at all anymore, which that was just so cool how the Lord did that.
We go and grab Starbucks and we just walk and we talk for hours and hours and we lose track of time.
It was so fun because it was full of us getting to walk and talk about what the Lord is doing and how he's been shaping our heart.
That's this whole video. I don't want to make a super long video. I really don't want to pick on him too much. It's sweet, but the whole video is God led me here, God did this, it wasn't me, and dude here is as equally as weird about the Bible as Emma Mae Jenkins. I can totally see dude taking up the morning routine. And if you haven't seen that video, go back in my video log. It's fucking hilarious. It's funny. You need to watch it. But that's the whole video. It's God this, God that. She pretty much lays out the playbook for getting that Emma Mae Jenkins, fellas. If Vampire Boy don't make it, if Vampire Boy don't do it, although I think that the next video is going to be like an engagement announcement. But if Vampire Boy don't make it, guys, all you gotta do, here's the one tip. All you gotta do is when you see Emma Mae Jenkins, ask her what the Lord has taught her today. That is Mac Daddy Gold with some Emma Mae Jenkins.
And after this hike, I knew I could date Emma. I was like, Emma, she's the one. I could date her. She honors God. She loves so well with her whole entire heart. And so what I did just to make sure that I just wasn't being all love crazy, as I came back and I have a list of things that I want in a wife, like non-negotiables. This is what I want in a wife. And so I go and I'm just checking off all these things on this list. I'm like, Emma meets this.
Personally, I find it kind of shitty that you have a list and you're checking off, making sure that this human being meets your criteria. Now, I'm not saying we all don't have criteria, but to have it written down on a list, I find that to be kind of reprehensible. But outside of that, when you're talking about this and that with Emma Mae Jenkins, one thing that I'm sure doesn't hurt is that she's famous. One thing that I'm sure doesn't hurt is that she's rich. And one thing that I'm sure doesn't fucking hurt is she's got this steady stream of income coming from all of these little teeny bopper wannabe cultists. I'm sure that doesn't hurt with the attraction level. And I'm not saying that Emma Mae Jenkins is ugly. She is not. She's far from ugly. She's pretty. She's cute. I wouldn't say my cup of tea, but wouldn't say she's ugly either. I'm just saying, having that money and having that fame has gotta help.
And so when I go to Josh and ask him how I can honor him. He said, Emma,
let me love you. Like, let me honor you. Let me serve you. Let me do what guys are supposed to do to women, to love them and to respect them and to honor them. Like, let me do this for you.
You know, I can help you here, dog. I can help you here. Send me an email, duoragingatheist@gmail.com. I'll give you all the little tips that you need to do some loving.
and the Lord continued to speak to me through him in ways that just blew me away and swept me off my feet, because that's what God does. And it was so cool. It was just so cool. Okay.
We come to the point that I really just need to tell her of how I feel. And so I'm trying to think of all the places that we can go, because whenever you're with Emma Mae Jenkins, everybody knows Emma Mae. And so everybody wants to meet her, everybody wants to talk to her, but I had to get her alone and really open up my heart to her and tell her how I feel.
I told you. Does Raging Atheist call it or what? I mean, that fame really helps.
Something that I love about Josh is he would constantly, throughout the semester, ask me how not only how I was, but what the Lord was teaching me. And that in itself meant so much to me, that he cared about where I was in my walk with the Lord. That was just beautiful. And so he asked me, so Emma, what is God teaching you? And throughout that whole week, I had been reading Lamentations 3, and it was all about waiting in the Lord. And so I was like, oh Josh, let me tell you, Lamentations 3, and I just read it all to him, pulled out my phone, just had to tell him all about it.
There you have it, y'all. There's the roadmap. If Vampire Boy don't make it, there's your roadmap. You want to hook up with Emma Mae Jenkins, all you got to do is pretend to like God. Pretend to like God more than she do. And then when you see her, just ask her, what's God teaching her today? That is the pickup line for a cult bunny like Emma Mae Jenkins.
And then I said, so what is God teaching you?
And I was like, God, this is the time that I'm going to tell her. And I go into her and I tell her, I'm like, God's been teaching me something since May. And from May, I was really battling if this is right. And in July, I really saw that this is something that from God. And so I prayed about it even more, and I kept on denying it and accepting it and going back and forth. And then in August, I really saw God pushing me towards it, and I finally accepted it, and now I'm running towards it. And those were my deep, deep feelings for you, Emma.
So what you guys have to understand is they went through this whole video and they gave time and time. It took a year for them to even get to the point of thinking about dating. And that's what he's talking about right here. It's all the indecision and how God needed to leave him. I mean, doesn't God know how to make up his mind? It takes a year. It takes a fucking year. That's indecision. That's just simply he needs to grow. He's not a man yet. He's not a man. You know, you see something you want, you go for it. A year?
He took a deep breath, and I could tell, I don't know, I could just sense that God was teaching him something that it wasn't as easy for him to talk about. And so I was like, all right, I don't know what he's about to say, but I'm ready to listen.
Like seriously, like God's teaching him on the spot, in the moment, and that's why he's struggling with telling you that he likes you. We're not even to the love part yet. It's been a year and he's just struggling to tell you that he likes you. And he wants to take you out to dinner. A fucking year.
And he goes on to tell me what the Lord has been doing in his heart since we had met, and how the Lord has been putting it on his heart to pursue me. And as he's telling me this, I just kind of sit back in my chair, because also throughout this whole semester, the Lord has been doing quite a lot in my heart regarding Josh as well. But keep in mind, I hadn't really been talking to many people about it besides the Lord.
Just too funny. I could have included so much, guys, and it's just too funny. Don't want to pick on him too hard because it's young love. It's sweet. You know, it takes me back to my first love. And like I said, though, the story's not over. You have the roadmap now, fellas. If Vampire Boy don't quite make the cut. But sadly, I think the roadmap's about to be closed. Because this video ended with a to be continued. And it ended back in November when they started dating, back in November. And we know how these Christians work. See, they've been dating for a few months now. And they really want to fuck. So I can almost guarantee that the next video is going to be talking about how to get married so they can fuck. But that's all speculation. That's the raging atheist being the raging atheist, talking that shit, having fun. But I don't know. That's my prediction. My prediction is that this next Our Story video coming out, the to be continued part of this story, is they're getting married. Because Christians rush into that shit. And he seems like a good kid. I think she's probably not doing wrong by marrying this kid. But there is that chance that he's that fundamental male patriarchy type dude. But I don't think so. I don't think that you go after Emma Mae Jenkins if you're that type of dude. More than likely, he wants her to wear the pants and he's going to be wearing the dress. I don't know. Just my take on it. Just talking that shit. Hope you guys liked it. What's up, guys? If you like my video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Share me on your social media. Comment in the comment section below. Hit the subscribe button. Watch what's next. Watch what YouTube recommends for you. Tell all your friends how crazy Nakasuchi is. I'll see you soon.